Good morning, everyone. Today I'm flying on the Etihad A380. I am flying in the residence, and let's find out if this is the most luxurious commercial aircraft flying today. Etihad's residents can only be found on board their A380s, which is only currently flying between Abu Dhabi and London Heathrow. The residence can seat 2 people, and it consists of 3 rooms, a sitting area, a private bedroom, and a private bathroom with a shower. My luxurious upscale experience began at my hotel, which was included as part of the free Abu Dhabi stopover program. I arranged my chauffeur, which was included in the price of the ticket, to pick me up 2.5 hours before departure to ensure plenty of time in the lounge. After a quick 20-minute ride, I was at the airport. My driver mistakenly dropped me off at the business class entrance. But no matter, I quickly found the first class check-in in the next hallway. The agent quickly checked me in, and my departure escort, Serena, greeted me there at the counter. Security check was immediately beyond the check-in counter, which was super convenient, and the entrance to the first class lounge and spa is just beyond that. An elevator took us up to the exclusive lounge. Once there, the friendly staff greeted me, and I was taken into the private residence lounge, where my waiter Michael was waiting for me. Nice. Good morning. Michael brought me Turkish coffee while I browsed the menu. I couldn't decide. Should I go with something sweet or something savory? There was so much space in this private lounge. There was also a small buffet with fruits, sweets, and Arabic coffee. I thought it was rather strange to have all of this lounge space since the residence only seats 2 people. Well, as it turned out, if you were traveling with an entourage, then everyone in your party can use the lounge. Since I'm the only one here, I think I can use my hands. I tried my first Arabic coffee. It has saffron and rose water, and having some dates with it offset the bitterness. Here comes my cooked-to-order omelette. It was fluffy and delicious. Given how interesting the bubble-patterned porcelain dinnerware looked, I initially thought the silverware looked rather plain. That's until I flipped over to the other side. Wow! The fruit plate was much more beautifully presented than my buffet grab. I was given a choice to board the aircraft first or last. Since I chose first, my escort Serena returned at 7 a.m., 1 hour before departure to pick me up. My aircraft was registered A6 APG, which returned to service only 1 month before my flight. The aircraft seats just short of 500 people. Economy class fills the main deck, while business class and first class take up the upper deck. Residence is located at the very front of the upper deck on the left side. This is typically a non-revenue space due to the curvature of the fuselage, but Etihad had ingeniously turned that space into something that produces lots of revenue. Serena pushed her way through the crowd of people waiting to board at the door. She moved stanchions out of the way so I can get through. I can feel 400 pairs of eyes on me thinking, I wonder who is that guy? It was a strange feeling in the boarding bridge. Just me and my escort Serena boarding an A380 all by ourselves. Though it was good that there was not a crowd in the way for my photos. I bid farewell to Serena, stepped on board, and the cabin manager greeted me.
Hello.
Hi. My personal flight attendant, Tara, escorted me to the residence and introduced herself. I went with the airline's famous lemon mint for my pre-departure drink. As I flipped through the menu, it was overwhelming to say the least. There was not a clear order, for example, a first meal, mid-flight snack, and a pre-arrival meal. Tara said, order whatever you want, whenever you want. I sipped an Arabic coffee while I explored my new residence for the next 7 hours. There's a mini fridge filled with still and sparkling water, Coke, and Sprite. There were some storage under the cushions. Since there's no overhead bin, my bag had to go underneath the bed. Whoa! A table is under the armrest. USB power and headphone outlets. Seat and lighting controls. And a noise-canceling headphone. I like how the remote control has its own dedicated display, so you can watch something else on the remote while the main screen is showing something different. Despite an excellent selection on the e-box entertainment system, I quickly found the only thing I wanted to watch, the exterior camera views.
سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون.
With an Arabic prayer wishing us a safe journey, we pushed back from the gate about 25 minutes late and made our way to runway 13 right. It was very interesting to see some out-of-place aircraft at Etihad Engineering. A Latam Dreamliner, a Hong Kong Airlines A350, After a long takeoff roll, we made a sweeping left turn to the northwest up the Persian Gulf. I was given a voucher for free Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi did not work the entire flight. The Acqua di Parma Amenity Kit is distinctively different from the business class kit. Differences include a larger bottle of perfume, lip balm, and a large bottle of lotion. Window shades are electronically controlled from the armrest. There's also a diffuser. Each window can be controlled individually or stopped at any position in between. "30 minutes after takeoff came my aperitif, which was a Time's Up mocktail. Just look at these fancy accoutrements. Since I just had that huge omelette in the lounge, I decided to go with a fresh fruit platter, which is simple but refreshing. While passing Bahrain, I was ready to take my shower. We now come to every aviation blogger's dream, the shower scene. The shower is on a 5-minute timer, and you press a button to start and stop the water as needed.
My first shower on an airplane.
At this point, you're probably wondering whether there was a hairdryer.
I can do this all day. You know, this is so incredibly comfortable. I've never been this comfortable on an airplane before. The bed is not like your lay flat seats where the cushions are lumpy. This is a real bed. So the mattress is a full flat mattress. I think it's memory foam. Very comfortable, the pajamas, nice and silky. All these pillows, lots of pillows. Really need 4 pillows? This bed is so comfortable, and just to prove to you, I am in an airplane, I'm not at a hotel. This is what it looks like from the bed.
Next to the bed, there's a remote control, USB, which did not work by the way, HDMI, and headphone jacks. Just another headphone outlet on the other side of the bed with an emergency call button. The video in the room initially didn't work. I thought the lighting in the room was super cool. Dimmable lights illuminate both the ceiling and under the bed. I spent only about 2 hours in bed watching TV before it was almost time for lunch. I didn't even spend time in the lounge. I only swung by to take a look-see. I had to get back to my room to get prepared for lunch. From the breadbasket, I went with the ubiquitous combo roll and the rather unique pretzel. The Arabic meze appetizer, as one would expect, was excellent. I don't know what these are called, but I like the pine nuts hidden inside. And the lime sorbet. It wasn't dessert, it was for cleansing my palate before the main course. Wow. My main course was lamb shank mandi, which is a traditional Arabic meat and rice dish. It was a huge plate with a huge piece of protein. The lamb was soft and tender. The crispy onions and the aromatic rice went together quite well with the lamb. It was delicious.
So much food here, I don't know if I can finish it.
I gotta save room for dessert, which was a self-destructing chocolate ball. The hot chocolate sauce was supposed to melt the ball.
Still waiting. Maybe? Okay, I don't think it's working. I'm gonna help it. Ta-da! I can't eat another bite. And that's all she said.
That was the most decadent dessert I have ever had on an airplane.
My flight in the residence about to come to an end. Time to change out of the pajamas into the street clothes. So sad.
Crew, 10 minutes to arrival.
It was cool watching the tail camera as we descended through the rain clouds approaching London Heathrow from the northeast. Turned final to the south runway and stuck the landing on runway 27 left. touched down 6 hours and 50 minutes after departing Abu Dhabi.
I just had a memorable flight in the residence on the Etihad A380. Even though the video wasn't perfect, what was perfect was Tara's service.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I had such a memorable experience, and I think all because of you, Tara. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to having you today.
Thank you so much.
After a visit to the flight deck, chatting with our two captains, I made my way through the massive crowd, exiting the main deck into Terminal 4. Fortunately, my ground escort found me, and we quickly made our way through the electronic passport check gates. Once again, my diminutive escort pushed through the crowd at baggage claim and retrieved my bag and escorted me to the exit. I was very impressed with Etihad's ground service escort at both airports. No other airlines has an over-the-top cabin such as Etihad's residence. It's a shame that their A380s are only flying between Abu Dhabi and London. At a flight time between 6 and 7 hours, it is far too short to experience the residence fully. Having said that, Etihad's residence is an ultimate flying experience that belongs on your bucket list, not just for the aviation enthusiast, but anyone who enjoys travel. I purchased my ticket from Bangkok to London via Abu Dhabi for $2,500 in first class, and then upgraded to the residence for another $2,500. For a total of $5,000, it is certainly approachable.
Excuse me? I'll just go to the shower.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Need to make sure the shower's working because that's like the best part of the airplane, man.
Yes.